The clock is ticking down to the greatest show on Earth, and USMNT legend Clint Dempsey is firing up the squad with a bold prediction for our team this summer. Dempsey is calling for total belief from the players and the fans as they prepare to defend home turf in the 2026 World Cup. He is putting his faith in the stars and stripes to make a deep run, while spotlighting the intense striker battle between Folarin Balogun and his teammates as a major key to their success.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
But securing your spot in the stands is proving to be an absolute nightmare for fans hoping to catch the action live. FIFA's latest ticket drop descended into chaos this week, as thousands of supporters were trapped in endless digital queues or slapped with frustrating rate limit errors. Even those lucky enough to secure a seat are facing staggering price tags that continue to climb as the tournament kickoff approaches. The road to the World Cup is also becoming a dangerous minefield for the sport's biggest stars. We are tracking a massive list of injuries with players like Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Rodrigo in a desperate race against time to prove their fitness. With the tournament starting in just over a month, national team managers are sweating over the availability of key icons like Alphonso Davies and Christian Romero, who are all currently battling to get back on the pitch. Finally, a wild proposal from a Trump administration official to swap Italy into the tournament in place of Iran has been slammed by Italian sports leaders as shameful. Despite the political maneuvering from U.S. envoy Paolo Zampalli, the Azzurri remain firm that they have no interest in participating unless they earn it on the field. Keep it locked here for all the latest updates on the beautiful game by hitting that like button and subscribing with notifications turned on so you never miss a beat. Can the USMNT actually shock the world this summer? With the 2026 World Cup less than 50 days away, American soccer legend Clint Dempsey isn't just hoping for a good showing. He is demanding it. Dempsey, the first U.S. man to score in 3 separate World Cups, knows exactly what it takes to perform under the brightest lights, and his message to the current squad is simple: believe or don't bother showing up. Dempsey is leaning into the home field advantage narrative, drawing a direct line back to the iconic 1994 squad. Back then, that team captured the nation's imagination with grit and a sense of what if. Dempsey argues that this current generation needs to replicate that same fire. He points out that Americans love a winner, and the only way to get the country behind this team is to play with a contagious intensity that demands attention. It is not just about tactical shape. It is about pure, unadulterated fight. Now let's talk expectations. Mauricio Pochettino has set the bar at the semifinals, and Dempsey believes that anything less than escaping the group stage would be a flat-out failure, especially with the expanded tournament format. But it's not just about talent, it is about the luck factor. From avoiding the injury bug, which has already hit players like Patrick Agyemang, to managing yellow cards, the path to glory is a minefield. One of the biggest storylines to watch is Christian Pulisic. Dempsey, who acted as a mentor to Pulisic early in his career, isn't worried about Captain America's recent gold drought. He knows better than anyone that the life of a striker is a roller coaster. He's keeping his phone line open for Pulisic, but he's also keeping a close eye on the competition for that number 9 spot. Specifically, Dempsey is hyped to see if Folarin Balogun can carry his red-hot form from Monaco onto the global stage, especially with guys like Haji Wright and Ricardo Pepi breathing down his neck. Ultimately, this tournament could define the next decade of American soccer, just as 1994 birthed the modern MLS era. So, do you think this squad has the chemistry to make a deep run, or will the pressure of the home crowd be too much to handle? Let me know your predictions in the comments below, and remember, in soccer, it only takes one moment of magic to change history forever. Imagine waiting 8 hours in a virtual line, your heart racing with the hope of catching the biggest sporting event on the planet, only to be slapped with a rate limit exceeded error and kicked back to square one. This isn't a glitch in a nightmare. This is the reality for thousands of fans trying to secure tickets for the upcoming World Cup. FIFA's latest ticket drop has been an absolute disaster. We are talking about fans burning half a day in a digital queue, only to have their carts cleared and their hopes dashed by technical failures. It's infuriating, and frankly, for an organization projected to rake in billions, it is a bad look. But the frustration doesn't end at the login screen. Once you actually clear the digital gauntlet, you're greeted with price tags that could rival a down payment on a house. We've seen tickets for the final in New Jersey reaching nearly $22,000. Even the cheaper seats for less marquee matchups are hovering in the hundreds. FIFA is leaning hard into a dynamic pricing model that keeps costs climbing, and they're taking a hefty 15% cut on their resale marketplace to boot. It raises a serious question. Is the World Cup becoming a luxury experience reserved only for the ultra-wealthy? And it's not just the tickets. Local transit authorities are being forced to charge fans a premium to handle the massive influx of people, leading to a public standoff between U.S. officials and FIFA. With representatives demanding FIFA cover these transit costs, given the $11 billion revenue projection, the tension is palpable. FIFA claims that money goes back into the sport, but fans on the ground are feeling the squeeze in their wallets right now. What do you think? Are these costs justified for the greatest show on earth? Or is FIFA losing touch with the fans who actually built the game? Drop a comment below and let me know if you'd pay these prices. If you want to stay ahead of the game in the business of sports, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. The countdown to the 2026 World Cup has officially begun, but for some of the biggest names in football, the race isn't just against opponents, it's against their own bodies. With kickoff set for June 11th, international managers are currently staring at their squads with a mix of hope and sheer dread. It's an injury crisis that could fundamentally change the landscape of the tournament. Let's start with the teenager taking the world by storm, Lamine Yamal. Spain fans held their collective breath when he went down with a hamstring injury against Celta Vigo. While the word from Barcelona is optimistic, it's a nervous wait for a player who has become essential to the Spanish attack. But he isn't alone on this precarious list. Germany's number one, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, is fighting a long-term hamstring issue that puts his role as a tournament stalwart in serious jeopardy. His absence would be a massive blow to Germany's defensive stability. Then we look at the heartbreak for Brazil. Rodrigo is officially out after a devastating ACL tear, a crushing blow for a team aiming to reclaim their status as world champions. Their defensive line is also under pressure, with Eder Militao scrambling to recover from a hamstring tear. The medical staff is rightfully cautious given his history. And what about the Premier League stars? Christian Romero is out for the rest of the season with a knee injury, leaving Argentina to sweat over the leadership he brings to their backline. Meanwhile, France will be without Hugo Ekitike, whose Achilles rupture has unfortunately ended his 2026 dreams entirely. It's a brutal cycle for players like Reece James and Alphonso Davies as well. Both are battling recurring muscle issues that have plagued them for years. When these guys are on, they are game changers, but their fitness has become a persistent, if that haunts their respective national teams. From Mikel Merino's fractured foot to Wataru Endo's double knee and ankle surgery, the middle of the park is looking thin for many nations. It makes you wonder, at what point does the sheer intensity of the modern club season break our brightest stars? These players are pushed to the absolute limit, and as we head toward the biggest stage in sports, we are reminded that sometimes the most talented team on paper is only as strong as its medical report. Who are you most worried about missing out this summer, and can these teams cope without their talismanic leaders? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with all our World Cup build-up. Stay tuned, because the road to 2026 is only getting started. Imagine your team misses out on the biggest stage in sports, the World Cup, only for a random political figure to suggest you should just jump in and replace another country anyway. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, that is exactly what just happened to Italy. A Trump administration official, Paolo Zampalli, recently pitched a wild idea. Swap Iran out of the upcoming World Cup and put the four-time champion Italians in their place. But here is the kicker. Nobody in Italy wants anything to do with it. It is almost refreshing to see the integrity on display here. Italian sports officials didn't just reject the suggestion, they basically laughed it off. Italian Sports Minister Andrea Abodi put it plainly. It is not possible, and quite frankly, it is not a good idea. Luciano Buonfiglio, the president of the Italian Olympic Committee, took it a step further, saying he would feel insulted by the notion. His point: you have to earn your spot on the field. You don't just get a golden ticket because a lobbyist thinks it would look good for the host nation. So why would a U.S. special envoy suggest this? Zampali, a long-time fixture in the Trump orbit, admitted it would be a dream to see the Azzurri play on American soil. But in the world of professional football, games aren't decided in backroom deals. FIFA has stood firm, insisting that Iran's group stage games are moving forward exactly as planned. Even the Iranian embassy in Rome clapped back, accusing the U.S. of moral bankruptcy and reminding us all that football should belong to the fans, not the politicians. It is a strange intersection of geopolitics and sport, but the message from Italy is clear. You can't buy, trade, or lobby your way into a legacy. If you want to lift that trophy, you have to win it the hard way on the grass. What do you think? Should tournament spots be strictly merit-based, or is there ever a time for political maneuvering in sports? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you appreciated this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the headlines. At the end of the day, the beautiful game demands, above all else, that you earn your seat at the table.